Hello to my Virgos. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get right into it. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend and enjoying this beautiful weather wherever you are. Hopefully the weather is a beautiful weather. Let's get into your reading. Let's set the tone for your reading. The moon has moved into Gemini. Gemini rules third house. I'm a magnet for harmonious, peaceful, healed relationships. That's right. Speak it into existence. Wherever you are, speaking into existence. Make sure I give everybody the questions for the moon in Gemini. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Welcome back. All right, let's get an angel number going. Talking to you wherever sixth house is. That's right, sixth house. Virgos rule sixth house. So for my cross watchers, find out what your zodiac sign is in your sixth house. Sixth house is all about health, work habits, daily routines, fitness, pets, service to others, diet, spiritual practices. You want to be very meticulous in those areas. Is that number 6? You want to make sure you nurture those areas of your life. You're getting some spiritual downloads. So somebody could be out in the sunlight getting some spiritual downloads. If you're not, you could want to get out in the sun. But prepare for new knowledge, right? So source is trying to help you to stay focused as you close out cycles with 2 energies or 2 types of energies. This is an alert from your guides. Your angels are indicating that you will be receiving new information in the form of realizations, wisdom, and emotions. Sit in meditation and focus your energy on opening your crown chakra, the top of your head, in preparation for this divine light. Picture loving light flowing into you with ease through the top of your head and into your entire being. So spiritual downloads. Yep. So it would be foolish to stay connected to 2 types of entities where it will set off a chain reaction. That number 8, if you turn into the stylus and an infinity symbol, and it's like it could set off a chain of events for you. It'd be foolish to stay connected to certain things, especially when source is already giving you spiritual downloads. If you stay connected to like for instance, if you've left a job already, you close out a job situation, and you stay connected to certain people on a job, it can set off a chain of events in your life that'll bring drama into your life, right? And if you're saying that you're a magnet for harmonious, peaceful, healed relationships, and there's some energies that's unhealed or can somehow, y'all get the point, attached to, or just staying attached to energies who are still attached to the things that will throw you out of harmony, things that will disrupt your peace, people, places, and things that are unhealed relationships for you, or just kind of sort of trigger unhealed relationships for you. So it's saying close all of that out and move on. Close it out and move on. Doesn't matter who it is, what it is. You're trying to be peaceful. You're trying to inspire. You're motivating. Whatever it is, you're trying to move on from some things. So the color yellow could be significant to you. Some things used to be motivational for you. Some things are no longer motivational for you. And you'll be getting some kind of indicators too. There's certain people, places, and things that you talk to that just bring back things for your memory. That just go, oh yeah, okay, remind you of certain things, possibly from your past. That you're trying to break those chains. Yeah, here's a devil card. Yeah, that bring you back to where you weren't thriving, where people talked about people behind their backs. Y'all see what I'm saying? And that's what source is trying to help somebody with. So here's some questions with the moon, and this is where somebody's going to really flip a switch in their mind. Just like, okay, you know what? And this is where your adaptability is going to help you. It doesn't matter what your zodiac sign is. This is where you learn how to come out of a comfort zone. So if you're a fixed sign and you're tuned in, or you're a cardinal sign and you're tuned in, or even a mutable sign and you're tuned in, doesn't matter what your zodiac sign is. I'm speaking to your 6th house. This is where you want to be real meticulous in these areas, about when it comes to your health, your work habits, your daily routines, your fitness, your pets, service to others, diet, and spiritual practices. If something for you is connecting you to a memory, if you want to write those things down, where people were connected to people who were talking about you behind your back because they thought you were going to be some kind of unfortunate end, you need to pull out the sword and take action and say, I'm cutting him off. Because something was threatening your harmonious relationships with your 10th house, your North Node. North Node would be your career, life goals, achievement, public image, the masculine side of yourself, and in your relationships with people, talking to people, your status, your fame. So it's like you need to cut ties with it altogether. Now, whoever's connected to whomever, I don't care, mom, if it was connected to somebody's mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, whomever. The moment you find out somebody is connected, and everything on planet Earth is connected, but Source is saying to you, your feelings are valid. You know what was hurtful that was said or done behind your back. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Because there were some energies who thought you were going to be some kind of unfortunate end behind closed doors. And too many people have that in common, where they just go along with the flow. People, now that you're thriving, now that you up and at 'em, you're thriving, hair blowing in the wind, whether it's your hair or not your hair, whether you're man or woman, don't really matter, whether your hair long, short, whatever. Now that you thriving, your ancestors are all around you, and you up and doing well, and you found your divine group of friends and all of this, and you're free, you're in a relationship and all of that. Here comes people wanting to reconnect with your life. So it's like, no, stay free. Stay free of the very ones that thought that you were going to be, first you were afraid, first you was petrified. You survived this. So it's time to thrive. That's the mode that you're in. You're in thrive mode. So no, you don't have time for that. First question for the moon and Gemini is, do you feel there's an area of your life in need of radical change, meaning work, your relationships, well-being, your home life, right? Because this devil card speaks to an obsession. Somebody was obsessed with reconnecting. That's what I noticed. Somebody has a big heart. Somebody was obsessed with reconnecting with the very same energies that stabbed them in the back, and these are loved ones. Once you got back on your feet, once you did your own healing on your own, but those energies, they kept their distance because they were the ones that was holding the sword, not the knife, the sword. You got back on your feet, you healed yourself, took your salt baths, did your auric layer cleansing, all of this other stuff. You reconnected with those energies. Just because they came back around talking about they love you and this and that. So it's like, not this time. Not this time. Something about that last sword wound for you did it. Whoever this was, it did it for you. So, second question is, what's getting in the way of you changing your story? Third question is, how could you inject more childlike curiosity into your life? And then fourth would be, who are the 5 people that you can get in touch with who could help you on your journey? Yes, something about this last sword wound. Somebody didn't tell you what was coming. They didn't tell you all the players, all the 9 players in something that they were the ones holding that last sword. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, it's 9 swords that already caused you a nightmare. It's that 10th sword that people thought was going to take you up out of here, that was going to send you on to glory. And I mean, not necessarily in the physical sense, that was going to have you so checked out and so depressed that you were just going to be like, okay, you ain't going to recover from this. You cannot believe you got this many people around you betraying you. So not in a physical sense, but in a sense that it was going to bring out the worst in you. That's what I mean, send you on to glory in a spiritual sense, right? But it sent you on to better, actually. No, yeah. It lets you know how bad things could get, like in terms of your thoughts. But you said to yourself, no, I'm not going to be in survival mode. I'm going to be in thrive mode. This will soon pass. This will soon pass. I'm free. When somebody was at that mark where they could have been ruthless, that's when you said, you know what, Source, I felt that sword in my back too many times. I'm free. I'm free. Like, what in the world am I thinking? Thank you. I know a gift. I'm not gonna lift a gift horse in the mouth of it again. Oh no. Never again. Here's a justice card. Yeah. Yeah, justice is in your favor. Too many people have the same thing in common, Virgos. It's too many people have the same thing in common with their loved ones. Somebody said, whether you connected to people or not in your health, somebody knows a healthy work life situation when they see it. They're like, hold on, I've been praying for peace. You got to remember the justice card, right? The justice card is you thinking you had somebody, this is a loved one, you had their back all this time, right? Somebody handed them a sword and said, hey, if you want things to go smoothly, you're going to have to do this one thing. That's, you're going to have to put that final sword in Virgo. The moment they had that, at that very moment, they had a choice too. If you want to be a part of something, you're going to have to put that sword in Virgo. They sat right around that table with them group of people, whether it was in your personal or your professional life. And they said yes when they had the option of saying no. Guess what? You just freed yourself. You just freed yourself. Justice is in your favor. Justice is in your favor. That is the thank you that you needed. That's what you, when you start thanking source, prayers answered. Prayers answered. The devil is in the details. It's how people look at things. Yeah, devil is in the details. Yeah, somebody was in a relationship with who they thought was a friend or somebody's family member or somebody that you love or whatever. But I'm telling you, when it all boils down to it and you realize, hold on, who would really, really have your back? It's somebody who will tell you, pull that sword out and cut them off. Mm-hmm. If you're really trying to go to the next level, pull that sword out and cut them off. You're trying to go to your 11th house, pull the sword out. Looking at your cards here, with those questions that you have, when we talk about the moon in Gemini, and 11th house, by the way, is about your friendships, your community, your goals, your hopes, your wishes, your awareness, your humanitarianism, your technology, the future, because this is how people are going to respect you. These energies have talked about you so many times behind you, but these are loved ones, talked about you so many times behind your back. And again, happy Monday. And this is a happy Monday because this is the only way somebody's going to really take off and soar. Because at first, because you already had 9 swords in your back. You were already in a nightmare. Somebody was just hanging on by a string with just one energy, right? You say, no, just by a string. Actually, with 2 energies, right? That energy decide to align themselves with an energy that had a God complex. They either went to court, a 3D court or 5D court, and do something to you behind your back, lie about you behind your back, and what they said was ruthless. You said, oh, okay. That's how y'all go? Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it the first time. Don't even feel it a second time. You're not paying them any more attention. This is what you're paying attention to right here. Source is about to pay you money. Source is about to pay you money. Yep. That's what you're paying attention to. Money is about to come across your path because you're a magnet for harmonious, peaceful, and healed relationships. Again, I'm talking about your 6th house because you've decided to cut ties. Somebody decided to finally get focused because you're getting spiritual downloads. I feel like for somebody, see, the 10 of swords is not just what you say out of your mouth. It's a form of communication, right? And it's something is reminding you of something. Something is reminding you of something. Is even if you're filling out paperwork, I'm serious. This is also sword energy too. If you're filling out paperwork and something triggers you that is connected, water, which I'm going to create it, and it will create you reconnecting with something that people, places, or things that created something that tried to end you, even if There's some energies that's not really apologizing for what they did, because that's what I'm picking up here, but that's their own way of apologizing without saying, oh, I'm so sorry. They're still being sneaky, what they're doing behind your back, still being sneaky, because that's what I'm picking up on. Something they did behind your back was ruthless. So that's their way of saying, oh, let me make it up to them. Hopefully they'll never find, hopefully Virgos will never find out. Guess what? Paying them in dust. That's how Source is like, okay. And sometimes it happens like that. What day is it? It's the 23rd. If you're watching this on Monday, it will be the 23rd. This cycle ends on the 24th, and then we start a new moon on the 25th. This is how, because you're not going to pay them any attention, right? And sometimes it takes a couple of times for you to get it. Like sometimes it takes a couple of times, like sometimes an email won't go through, or a text message won't go through, or you feel like you're having technical difficulties, or something, it'll create something that'll stop it. Like you see 10 here and 10 here, right? So 10 is the end of something. So you're like, something will happen where it disconnects. Something happens, some kind of disconnect in communication. Something will happen. Then Source says, don't pay this energy any energy, right? Don't talk to them. Don't send something. Don't send something in the mail. Don't, and snail mail or email or call somebody back or go visit them or stop past their desk or whatever the case may be. Because remember, you're saying you're a magnet for harmonious relationships. That one thing that Source told you to stop doing because somebody is so used to giving because somebody asked you to do something. Source is saying, no, this is a time where you're going to learn how to be. That's when their rebellion is kicking in. Where you may have thought other people were being rebellious this is where it's going to kick in for you. Oh, you know what? I need to be rebellious this time. Let them talk about me behind my back this time. I'll be rebellious this time. I need to stop myself. I need to put an end to being connected to anything that tried to end me. Anything and anybody. And remember, the devil is crafty. The devil is very crafty. So that's why you're staying focused. That is why you're staying focused. There was a fire sign and there was an earth sign that plays some role in trying to end somebody. They got paid to do it, and they were ruthless in what they said and talking about you behind your back to end your 10th and your 11th house. Yours and someone else's 11th house. Source is saying to you, whether they went to spiritual court or physical court, Source is saying it doesn't even really matter. You need to stay focused because that's their way of apologizing. So here we have Queen of Cups. You're not even cutting your nose off to spite your face because the money that's coming across your path is coming from Source. You're learning how to pour into yourselves. And this is the beauty of pouring into yourself. You're already thriving without those energies. Yeah. So you could be feeling something through your emotional eating, right? You could be feeling something through your emotional eating. And guess what? If you're getting enough water, you're going to find yourself taking a break, rushing to the restroom to release all of that. And that's where you're going to realize the secrets. This moon exposes secrets, right? Somebody could be feeling something in their back. That's what's going to remind somebody of exactly who and what it is. That's where your psychic abilities are going to kick in. You're going to be like, wait a minute. That's going to connect you. That's going to reconnect you with some energies. That's going to feel like, okay, they did a good deed secretly behind your back. And, oh, okay, we're doing something secretly good for Virgo behind your back. But they will never come to you in your face and say, oh, we made a mistake about you. This is on somebody's job in your personal or your professional life. They're not going to come to you, Virgo, and say to you, what they did behind your back and how they joined in the reindeer games, these energies, and played a role in, see, because it's out there in the air now. It's like shredding up paper with all of these negative things attached to your name and sending it out in the air. There's no way they can go back and collect everything that they said about you. And I'm talking about your name was attached to, your reputation was attached to, all the things that you worked hard for was attached to this. Y'all see the damage that these energies did to you? So it's just saying, oh no, this is why justice is in your favor. And this is why you're about to be more abundant and prosperous. And you're going to give all, I'm telling you, you're going to give all the praise to source. I'm telling you, these energies were ruthless. You're not going with that flow. So never again is somebody going to be like, oh, this person, they just cut people off fast. You're going to be looking for your sword and leave that foolishness behind. You're going to learn how to march to the beat of your own drum. When you're around people who sit around and talking about people behind their backs, that's when you're going to get yourself up from a desk. You're going to be like, I don't even want to be associated with that. Especially when people talk about ending people's careers and ending this and that. Total abuse of power and authority. Nope. And then going right on back to having a good time like nothing ever happened. Somebody's about to get promoted. You're about to expand something, but it will not be with these energies here. And they're going to say that you turned your back on them. They got every excuse in the world except apologizing. Goodbye. This is one of the energies in particular already has a God complex. One of the energies in particular has a God complex, right? Because you have taken short trips with this energy. Y'all have had conversations. Y'all are like siblings, or y'all could be like siblings or whatever. Interacting or whatever with each other. But somebody really thought you was a fool. Boo Boo to be exact. Boo Boo the fool. Because you showed them so much compassion, but they joined in the reindeer games. And it's because of who they are connected to. Don't get this twisted now. They are connected to an energy who has a God complex. And because they are still chained to this particular energy, playing foolish games. So it's like you're detaching from both of these energies. They're still connected to an energy that has a God complex. You're not. So looking at your cards here, I see you're free. Somebody's either you got a new and exuberant love coming across your path, or promotion, or something, or probably both, because I'm seeing, something is going to feel like a homecoming for you. Yeah. Looking at your cards here for you and someone. Yeah. Your person, if it's a new love for you, your person will definitely have your back. Your person will definitely have your back. Because at first you would have thought, okay, this person just cuts people off quickly, but it's because they're always thinking. They're always thinking. They're like, okay, they have a big heart, but okay, they had to learn like you. Meek does not mean weak. Whoever this energy is. So it's just saying somebody had to learn, all them wounds in your back, you learning how to, somebody definitely wanted you in survival mode. Two energies definitely wanted you in survival mode. I think, these energies should have showed you more compassion, but there was no compassion. Yeah. Instead, somebody made an emotionally immature comment to you about something. About something or someone. Yeah. So, as far as you're concerned, like I said, you're getting spiritual downloads, you're closing out cycles, and now it's going to start making sense as to why people pull out the sword and cut people off. So you're learning how to be more conservative with your time, especially when it comes to your legacy here, like who you're building your legacy with. A moon in Gemini is playful, is creative, is curious, is interested, is hungry for life, is eager for all tastes, all aspects of life, is one with the need to explore many paths, simultaneously, being guided by what feels most fun. It's the time of doing, opening the portals of manifestation, going for your dreams. And that's what somebody is doing. Somebody is tired of carrying people on their back, carrying other people's emotions on their back. And something has driven you to this point. It's just like somebody now feels like, okay, I feel foolish for carrying other people's demons on my back. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the emotional work to do it. They rather just dump all this mess on other people in other people's dreams who are thriving. So that's what I'm saying here in your cards. Somebody realize when your back is against the wall, you're going to tap in the source, not to other people's demons. So yeah, you about to, they thought you was thriving before, or they had an issue with people thriving. Haven't seen anything yet. You about to take off like that eagle. you about to take off like this eagle on this picture. Take off like this eagle in this picture. And you're not even trying to be perfect. That's the thing. There's no such thing as a perfect human being. Somebody is just getting better and better and better because we're all in human form. There's no such thing as a perfect human being. That's the problem. These energies right here think people are trying to be perfect. That's why they like to try to create something. Oh, this person's depressed. They try to say emotionally immature things to people or their kids. They try to pretend like they're compassionate. But they'll, as soon as somebody see that you're thriving, anything they can do to stop people get to their north node, they'll do it. So no, you're not accepting something. Yeah, that's over. That's over and done with. These energies thought that your meekness was your weakness. Nope. This the frequency you on. Let whoever think whatever. That's the frequency you on. Because you ain't going back. Mm-mm. Money cometh to you, and you are being conservative with your coins. Okay? That's the frequency that you on. Let whoever think whatever. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yeah. You're about to start traveling, all of that. That's right. You're about to start traveling, doing some things. Somebody could be waiting on some results for something, but here's the Two of Wands here. Yeah, you're about to start traveling. You're inspired to do other things. You don't have time for that. You and somebody may be getting ready to start traveling, but you all could have been apart from each other. But I'm seeing something going from local to but you have a whole world of opportunities open to you. Somebody just don't want to be around people who are inspired to do things, sneaky stuff behind people's backs. This is an energy. One of somebody's friends. Either y'all live close to each other, or y'all could have been close to each other as far as living or whatever. Could have hung out with each other. Y'all could have been in the military, maybe two different branches of service or whatever, or maybe the same branch, whatever. It don't really matter. Same line of work, whatever. But because of what they did behind your back, that is a wrap. Them and somebody else did something behind your back. It's a done deal. Y'all are not inspired by the same things. The whole world of opportunities to open up for you. This is an energy that you may have thought y'all could have at least traveled locally. Y'all could have had some fun or whatever. There's another reason why somebody is now realizing, like, I just really messed up. I just really messed up, right? The other one, so it's two of them, right? One of them is like, okay, that was just a transaction for them. Okay, they'll get over it. They don't care. Okay, just so we're crystal clear. But the other one feels some kind of way. They're grieving. Oh, we gotta fix this. We gotta do something nice. Who can we call? Who can we put in a word for? They didn't claim somebody was depressed, back was against the wall. Somebody need to be them and their child need to be committed. I mean, it's just a work child, whatever. Anyway, you're moving on. You're moving on. There it is. You done pulled out the sword. You done pulled out the sword. There it is. You're getting spiritual downloads. Somebody is in such a high vibrating mood. You just don't have time for the foolishness. You're not calling it. You're not calling them a fool. Again, you're just not motivated by being around energies that do this kind of mess. You're just not motivated. Yeah. Somebody is about to catch a flight somewhere and catch high vibrating feelings, not low vibrating feelings, but high vibrational feelings, having a good time. Like I said, magnet for harmonious, peaceful, healed relationships, having fun, laughter, listening to some music, you know, managing your money. Um, yeah, somebody said that whoever you are, somebody said that you're a really, really good parent. And that's the good news out of all of this. Whoever you are, somebody said that you're a really good parent. And that's all that matters. Whatever else that somebody else is saying, at least some at least somebody at least somebody told the truth. With all of this, with all of these swords in somebody's back, at least somebody is emotionally mature enough to tell the truth. So that's enough water that you need to wash off all of these wounds in your back with some salt water to get it, and let the air hit it and heal. The rest of them, I'm telling you, somebody's thriving. Somebody is thriving and high vibrational now, and you keep a sword on you. You keep a sword. First sign you hear people talking about people behind their back, it's gonna be a no. It's gonna be a no for you. Them or their kids, nope. You are not in that conversation. You will get up from the table. You don't care how good the food is. You don't care whatever it is your temptations have been. You don't care how good the people look. If you drink, you don't care if your favorite drink is at the table, whether it's non-alcoholic or alcoholic. No matter what's going on and your temptations are at that table, you will get up and walk away. Don't even want to be a part of it. You're going with God's flow. That's it. Allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. That's it. Nope. Gotta go, gotta go. That's the frequency that you're on. You're just journaling, taking notes and journaling. That's it. Yeah, so these are loved ones. These are loved ones that you realize have talked about you behind your back, or friends, or people that you may have served with, or worked with. Or when I say serve, it doesn't necessarily have to be military. It could be like served in government or private sector or whatever it is, some kind of organization, right? Whoever it was. Nope. Yeah, somebody was dealing with a guy who was a master manipulator of emotions. That as far as you're concerned, you're just like, nope. Five of Wands here. Yeah, somebody absolutely saw you as, there's a lot of conversation going around, but somebody absolutely saw you as their rival. And that's something that you may not have seen, whoever you are. Somebody absolutely saw you as their rival. Y'all know what I'm saying, Virgo? Sometimes you work with people and you realize you looking at what you have in common. This is right here. As we starting out with all this air, you talking to people, you realize you think y'all have all of this in common, and you trying to find a common bond and all of this other stuff. And they looking at you like, who is this energy? And you wondering why They just trying to fill you out to see if you're going to take their spot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody, yeah, somebody, it looks like somebody threw somebody under the bus to say, because I'm looking at this tracks on this grass right here. It's like somebody poured a whole lot out to a master manipulator, possibly that you worked with. But when it came down to them or you, they chose themselves. Yeah, so anyway, um, yeah, Knight of Swords here. So it wants you to stay focused. Yeah, so it's really needs you to stay focused because this is the reason why people cut people off. Because they pick up on an emotion and like, something is, I'm looking at this death card, right? And I'm looking at this page of cups here. Something you may have said to somebody where it may seem to you like the person was like void of emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could have said something to you that you work with that was so emotionally insensitive, you may not have really caught it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference between someone being direct with you and a person who is just being mean in the workplace. Somebody being direct with you, telling about your job. Okay, you're not doing a good job. This is what you need to do. You need to straighten up in this area, whatever. Somebody being mean, it's not even work related. It's not even work related. Like I'm looking at this pig here. That would be like somebody saying to somebody, Like I can't even tell y'all what this lady said to me one time at work. It had nothing to do with being weight. Well, actually, it did. This is when I was like I was like super skinny when I was younger, and when I was thinking about it now, I had to laugh because it was really mean. But it would be hurtful if um well, it would be hurtful regardless. It had nothing to do with work, but that would be an example. That would be an example, right? Of somebody just that's not even work related. That would be an example of somebody taking a personal pot shot at somebody, just being mean spirited, like trying to come across everybody else that you're compassionate, but you saying something mean had nothing to do with work. What they got to do with work? You talking about somebody's weight? Nothing, right? You got the Three of Cups here, so um, yeah, something about a friendship is over. Something is about a friendship is over. Yeah, something about, you could have been friends with two people. That's over. That's behind you now. Yeah, they try to play you and somebody as a fool. Yeah. Um, Again, something else you and somebody have in common. Six of Wands. So 5 and 6, like I said, is 11. Looks like some energies are trying to make you and somebody rivals, whoever it is. And again, you may never meet somebody. But it happens all the time. It's like somebody keeping you away from a loved one that you've never met, right? People tell you what y'all have in common. Oh, y'all look alike. You never met so and so, but then they giving you all the scoop, talking about them behind their back, and you finally meet them. They built up or an employee that you've never met that's on break, and they come back to work, and by the time they come back to work, you've heard all the downloads, but they're not spiritual downloads, not from source. You've heard so much gossip about them You don't know what to believe. So hangman. So you're learning how to hang in there with yourself. So much illusions and confusions around things. But that's what the devil does. The devil is in the details. And that's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, you and some people have a lot in, you and a lot of people have a lot in common. Yeah. But anyway, here's a Hierophant card. Somebody now understands the physical existence of how people grieve when people move on and thrive without them, and somebody else comes in that reminds them of people. It's like somebody dumps their grief off on other people. So yeah. So that can happen a lot of different ways, and I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. It can happen in a ways that somebody could have the same birthday, and somebody could be grieving and take it out on a person who has the same birthday, whether it's you, your kids, parents, whomever. Somebody grieves and somebody feels some kind of way. They were angry with that person triggered emotions, or they were happy. That may trigger an emotion. Or somebody leaves a job, or then somebody comes in and reminds them. The person that hires them could really like that person. They could be like, oh, they remind me of so-and-so. I'm just going to hire that person on the spot. They remind me of so-and-so. But then other people could have felt some kind of way about something. And instantly people just didn't have a clue. Because it was almost like when I look at this as like, death card, grieving. People grieve differently. People grieve differently. It's not always in a physical death sense. It could have been in a spiritual death sense. But here we have Two of Pentacles here. But Source is balancing something out for you. Something is balanced out. Yep. Something has balanced out. But yeah, so I do see you traveling. Something is closed out. And I see you back on stage again. Yep. Meaning back in the spotlight in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So something was a win-win for you. Something was a win-win. Looks like something came full circle. Yeah, but somebody is just really learning how to, walk around with a sword in their hand. Don't cast your pearls before swine. Don't waste good things on people who won't appreciate them. You're closing out a cycle. I see you being booked and busy, not burdened and bitter. It's time to release the burden. The new one is extra special. The curse is now broken. Yeah. Somebody has a lustful demon, but somebody apologizes for hurting you. At what age did your parents work on their shadow self, and at what age did you work on your shadow self, right? You have the gift of clairaudience. You hear things clearly now that you're away from all of the, you start cutting people off. Yeah. Your ancestors have a message. You have a lot of ancestors around you, whoever you are. Your inner child is very proud of you. Something is not as deep as you think it is. Something is not as deep as somebody thinks it is. Source needed somebody to just learn how to pull out that sword and start cutting people off and stop going along with everybody's flow. Yeah. Yeah, let me see what else we got going on here. Yep, I think that's it. I think that's it. Do we have any other cards here? Yeah, you're taking some kind of inspired action. You have a lot of opportunities headed your way. Somebody's taking a leap of faith and flying somewhere, receiving it all. You deserve to receive abundance at full capacity. Believe in your worth and trust that the universe is ready to deliver it all. Deliver all that you desire. So open up. You decide. When you give of yourself freely, you expand your energy. If you only give to get, it will feel like a burden or drain. Be genuine. Give from your heart. Heart path It's not worth pursuing a path without passion. This road will only lead you to uncertainty and frustration. Follow your heart and you can't go wrong. A deeper world. Don't push or force your way through life. Finding balance even in dark times will open your heart to the depth of compassion in everyday moments. It's coming. Yeah, somebody was carrying a lot of people's emotions. This is what you and somebody else had in common. You carry a lot of other people's emotions on your back. And these energies pick that up right away. Hope is on the horizon in the face of challenges. Remember that nothing lasts forever. Trust that the universe has good things in store for you. Embodiment. Now is the time to make your mark in the world. You decide what feels right to you. Embody your leadership power and create your world out of your deepest desires. That is what I have for somebody. I'll see you in the next video.